Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I just wanted to get out here, talk about, the Steelers coaching staff, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff flying around on Steelers Twitter, and reasonably so, coming straight two losses, back to back, just really frustrating. But I wanted to get on here and give you guys a couple of my takes. I think my first take is, I think the hate is warranted at this point. You're 8 weeks in, and your defense hasn't looked great through 8 weeks. And I'm not even going to count the Vikings or the Cleveland game, because those against backup quarterbacks and a rookie, and you're supposed to look like that, is my point, against those type of quarterbacks. But I think it's very warranted, especially that Thursday night game. I think the offense, when they score 30 points, man, your defense has got to win you that game. It's got to win you that game. I know the offense, there was parts of it where it stalled out or whatever, but they still scored 30, man. You got to win those games. And the defense has got to make the stop, and they just couldn't make the freaking stop. They couldn't do it. And it reminded me kind of similar to Jets game, week 1, against Justin Fields. They couldn't make the stop. But they did make the stop when they needed to in the fourth quarter, when time was running down. But they didn't this time. And it's just now this time too, you're 7 weeks in at that point, and that games like that shouldn't be happening, where you're giving up over 30 points. Unacceptable. But I think one thing you can really harp on Mike Tomlin is playing people out of position. Darius Slay is not young anymore, man. He's just not. You can't put him up against Jamar Chase and think that he's gonna lock him up the entire game. That's not smart football. That's not smart football. Darius Slay is probably your third best corner, maybe your fourth, arguably. Best corner on the team, and you're going to put him on the number one receiver. Makes no sense to me. Joey Porter should have been following Jamar Chase the entire game, and Jalen Ramsey should have been on T. Higgins the entire game. That's how it should have been. That's what I'm saying. Playing people out of position. And if you want to play man coverage, you got to play man coverage smart. And like I said, you should have put Joey on Jamar, because Joey's had pretty good success against Jamar Chase, actually. And I think Ramsey probably would have been a better corner to go up against T, personally. But if you want to play man coverage, you got to play smart, or you just don't need to play man coverage. I think you could play zone coverage. I think, so your corners have help. You're not just on an island with two of the best wide receivers in the league, personally, and probably the best wide receiver duo. I think, a couple zone coverages could really help, actually, to cut some of that slant routes off that Jamar Chase had wide open all day, and Diggs and, all that. That's another thing. The word's out about Steelers, how to beat the Steelers defense, man. It's get the ball out of your hands extremely quick, and you don't even have to worry about the pass rush. And that's another thing. The Steelers blitz way too much, man. Way too much. You can't blitz 6 people all the time. You just can't. You pay TJ Watt $40 million. You have Alex Highsmith. You have Nick Herbig, which doesn't get enough playing time as it is. You got Keanu Benton. Now you got Derek Harmon. Those guys should win. You trust those guys to go win. They don't need help to go win. Those guys, they get paid that money to win up in the front, to get to the quarterback. Captain Cam, he has incentives. He wanted a new contract. Well, let him earn it, man. Let him earn it. But this defense, man, I can understand frustration, because this defense hasn't looked good, man. It's almost as bad as the Dallas Cowboys defense. But this defense has more talent on it, and that's what makes this more frustrating. Is like, why is this defense look so bad when you have Pro Bowlers, you have future Hall of Famers on this defense? I mean, why does it look so bad? And like I said, I think a lot of it's playing people out of position, way too much man coverage, and you know, players on the defense are saying stop the run, stop the run. I think they do a pretty good job on stopping the run. You know, I mean, the Cleveland Browns running back, Quinton Judkins didn't really have a big game against them, and and then the next game after the Steelers, after they played Steelers, he had a big game. He's a good running back, but you shut him down, and you shut Jerome Ford down. I think the run defense is actually pretty good. It's just the pass coverage. If they could fix the pass coverage, I think a lot of this defense would be fixed. But they just haven't done that yet. So we're seeing the results of giving up 30 points a game. It's unacceptable. And, it's like, my second take is, Mike Tomlin went on Ryan Clark's Pivot podcast and said, this is going to be the historic defense. Like, this defense is going to be one of the best defenses in the NFL, maybe in the NFL's history. And, well, it's been historic, all right. It's been historically bad. It just has not lived up to the expectations. And you had DK Metcalf. You had Juan Thornhill. They're all saying, well, this is the best defense I've ever been practicing against, or this is the best defense I've been a part of. And they look like that is just unacceptable, man. The excuse for Mike Tomlin through all these years where he didn't have a quarterback. Well, especially post Big Ben. Now he has a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, man, has been balling out. Like, he's been pretty dang good. He's been serviceable. And, like when he's putting up, like I said, 30 points a game, like, why aren't you winning the game? Like, if you were to tell me, like, before the season that this offense is going to put up 30 points, and I would be like, oh, well, we're probably going to have a good record. I would never have guessed we'd be, like, 4-3 right now. You just couldn't tell me that the Steelers defense would give up that many points. But they have. And that's 100% of Mike Tomlin. He says, well, we're not afraid to make changes. Well, why aren't changes being made on the defensive side of the ball? That's my question to Mike Tomlin. And I think everyone should be asking that question. Like, you say you're not afraid to make changes, but you're not making the necessary changes. Like, why is Chuck Clark out there? He's not very good. I just don't understand it personally. But I don't think they're going to fire him. I think the only way they'll fire him is if they don't make the postseason, or if they do make the postseason and they just are not competitive like the Ravens game last year. Like, if they just get the doors blown off them, I highly doubt he'll be back. I highly doubt it. And I think it is reasonable to say, is Mike Tomlin the right person for the job anymore? I think it is perfectly reasonable for Steelers fans to say that at this point in time, going into Week 9. Speaking of Week 9, playing the Colts, I think this is a big game for Mike Tomlin, man. I really do. I think it's a big game for Terry Austin as well. You're coming off really two bad straight defensive performances, and you have, like I said, you have future Hall of Famers, you got Pro Bowlers on that side of the ball. Like, let's see them. Let's see it. Let's see what you guys are talking about during training camp. Like, put up a performance so we can all shut up about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just put up a decent performance on defense. Like, that's all I want. Because the offense, honestly, frankly, deserves a good defensive performance. Like, the offense has held their side of the bargain up, man. They really have. And the defense is not. So I think this next coming week's going to be a huge week. I think if they get their doors blown off, against Indy, which is very likely because Indy is a really good team. Um, Mike Tomlin's hot seat's gonna get hotter, man, because you're gonna be 4-4, and you gotta go play LA, and that's an away game. You gotta go play them, and you could be looking at 4-5. Then you got Cincinnati that just you just got toasted by. That's certainly not a give me. So I mean, like, things could get really dicey, man. So I think Mike Tomlin, if he wants things to die down, he's got to win against Indy, man. Got to at least make it competitive. But yeah, man. I mean, I think the hate and like the questioning of the leadership in the locker room is perfectly reasonable. I mean, this team hasn't played up to snuff, and they advertise something like, it's like an ad, man, where they advertise something in the newspaper and everyone's expecting it, and then you buy it, and it's just not even close to what the ad looked like. Like, it's a little deflating, and that's exactly how I feel about this defense. It's not what it was advertised to be. So, like I said, Week 9 is going to be a huge week for Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin. I'm hoping they can figure out this defense, because if they figure out this defense and the offense continues to play the way they're playing, this is going to be a dangerous team. Very dangerous team. And I do believe they could go on a run and make a potential Super Bowl run. But you got to figure out the defense first before you get ahead of ourselves here. So, but anyway, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one.